Congratulations to Lee Pitts Live, recipient of the NAACP Image Award.
We're back, Southwest Florida, and I hope I don't look any worse for the wear for running away for a few minutes, but we're so thrilled here to get Don Issac here. He's with the Executive Director for the Florida Rural Legal Services and hasn't been on the show in some years. Don, let's bump you in, man. I would say it's been since like 1985 you were on the show, and you were a local attorney at the time, right?
Yep.
How did you being an attorney fit into you becoming the Executive Director of the Florida Rural Legal Services? How did that play in?
Well, it fits my philosophical background and my need to serve others and my Christian background. So it basically fit all those needs for me.
Okay, excellent. Now, what is Florida Rural Legal Services?
Well, it's basically a nonprofit legal services program that provides legal assistance to low-income people in this 8-county area.
And the legal assistance that you provide, is it free or does it cost any money? How does that work?
It's a sliding scale based on your income, basically at 125% of the poverty guidelines. So a family of 4 can make no more than probably $26,000 a year to qualify for our services.
Where are your offices located?
The main office here in Fort Myers is on Cleveland Avenue, 3210 Cleveland Avenue. We also have offices on the Punta Gorda, near the Punta Gorda Courthouse, an office in Immokalee, we have an office in Port Charlotte.
What is the biggest misconception you might find that people, when they see the name Florida Rural Legal Services, what do they not know? What are they don't? Go ahead.
Well, rural is probably the biggest
Right.
thing that throws people off. Basically, we're not rural, we're pretty much suburban. But the rural comes from the fact that we get funding to provide services to migrant farm workers throughout the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm. Now, the process of tapping into your services, is that just a basic phone call into the office? Walk us through that process.
Initially, people can come in, walk in, and also make phone calls. We have a website, of course, where we can access that. You can leave basic information on the website. We will get back to you, but you're not into the legal process unless you've actually contacted our office directly.
Why is there a need for an organization like Florida Rural Legal Services in Southwest Florida?
Well, we started back in the 60s with the old OEO programs of Johnson War on Poverty issues, and really it's giving low-income people the same rights that anybody else that could afford a lawyer has in our court system.
Now, what type of legal services can I come to you for if I'm a low-income person?
Primarily housing is one of our biggest areas, but there's a variety of kinds of cases we take throughout. Public benefits matters like unemployment compensation, Social Security matters, health-related issues, Medicare, Medicaid, family law issues to a certain degree, education issues, health issues again, expungement, sealings, generally every very civil-related issues that's not criminal.
Mm-hmm. What is the highest, would you say, most needed that you're seeing? What over the years, what do people normally need from you?
Believe it or not, it's about 40% of our work is housing related, whether it be basic landlord tenant, whether it be Section 8, whether it be public housing, whether it be mortgage foreclosure defense, and individual ownership rights. That's the one that's constant throughout years, that people, it's a basic necessity for people to have housing.
Mm-hmm. We have your contact information on the screen, but what are your hours of services?
Our basic hours are 8:30 to 5 p.m. every day, Monday through Fridays. People are encouraged to call in and get appointments ahead of walking in.
Is it fair to assume you have to be an American citizen to tap into your services?
You have to be an American citizen, you just have to have legal status, which means that you have to be a resident alien and up. You cannot be undocumented and get services from our program.
Now, if you provide all this, give us an idea of the volume of people that you service each year.
In the Fort Myers office, we serve about 2,000 people a year.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, how are you funded being a nonprofit to provide this great service?
Primarily through the federal government. 65% of our funding is federal, and there's an amalgamation of other funding, private and public, that provides our services for us.
How the public that's viewing this right now, is there anything that they can do to augment what you're doing to help out with what Florida Rural Legal Services are doing? Can attorneys volunteer their time, pro bono, all these kind of things?
Yes, basically we do have a vibrant pro bono panel in conjunction with the Lee County Bar Association where attorneys can volunteer to take certain cases. We underwrite the cost for all those cases that they do take, but we have pro bono attorneys to assist us with legal issues for folks.
Mm-hmm. Final question, when you look 5 years down the road at the Florida Rural Legal Services, what do you hope would be different?
Well, that basically more established in the community, people would know more about us, and people would take advantage of our services more often than they do now.
Excellent. Well, I think you're providing a great service to the community, and we looking forward to getting you back on the show to continue to educate us. How about that?
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Bam. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Don and all the fine people over at Florida Rural Legal Services who are doing it. When we come back, Dr. Belinda Brewster will be here, the chairman of the Lee County NAACP Freedom Fund Banquet. It was a smoky night in Chicago, people. We'll be right back.